Welcome, Conscious Lamb here with another self-improvement video. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest hypocrite of 2022. That's right, your boy right here. My name is Lane. This is my YouTube channel, and basically what we do here is we try to push ourselves to our highest potential. So the reason that I am a hypocrite in 2022 is because I feel I did not do that. I feel like I moved unconsciously a lot, and I just feel the hypocrisy spewing from my veins. Do I actually think I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2022? That's a negative. I think I handle my business, I handle my daddy duties, I'm a decent citizen to society. I'm pretty sure that's all that's really expected of me, you know? So my daddy duties are in check. I'm a citizen. I pay my taxes and whatnot. The average citizen, that's supposed to be enough. But for myself, it's just not. It's just not. And I'm frustrated about it. So there might be some frustration. There might be some laughs. There might be a tear or two. You never know. But anyway, 2022 was supposed to be the year that I expanded my business and take it to a full-time job, essentially, make my living off of my business, and that never transpired. It was also the year that I was supposed to really take my family and my romantic relationship to the next level and got my finances together. Those were my three, big. And I'm pretty sure I struck out 3 times, so just another reason I feel like a hypocrite, so I'm not trying to talk down on myself, but I do believe in accountability. So, I think it's a fun opportunity to take advantage of the first of the year. If you go back last year, a year ago today, roughly, I shot a couple videos bringing in the new year. And I basically talked about how New Year's resolutions don't work. And then I talked about how to basically make them work for yourself. And then I dropped a third video called Vibing all of 2022. And that's where I kind of just touched on what I want to accomplish in my personal life. I also had my baby was on the video. I forgot about that. I watched the video just now. It was kind of funny. So yeah, go check those out. So last year I tell you that New Year's resolutions don't work. This year I tell you I have a couple because, I was pretty vague last year, and I think that might have been part of my problem. So this year I went insanely detailed. We'll see. Let's see what happens. I'm changing the game. Let's see. I definitely still expect this year to be the year I change my life. I went through a lot. in 2022, man. Early in the year, I started therapy for the first time in my life, and I didn't really touch on that on the camera. But if you know me in my personal life, you know that the profound changes that made. And I actually re-enrolled here recently, so I went like 12 weeks therapy. I'm about to start again, just to start the year kind of reorganized. Get back. It never hurts to get some professional perspective, so definitely a big advocate for therapy, whether you're successful or not. So accountability to Lane is huge. It's actually everything, because if you break everything down bare bones, it's nobody else's fault but your own. You come up short in somewhere in your life, it's your own fault ultimately. So I'm just gonna kind of run through this list. So I've decided to force myself to basically have some free time to accomplish the goals that I want. And I'm also going to be completely stripping my vices from me for at least 4 months. So, that's roughly like quarter of the year, whatever. April 1st, I'll be free, man, whatever. But as of July 1st or January 1st, social media is gone. The alcohol is gone. Marijuana is gone. I kind of do this thing where I just have empty conversations for no reason, and it just, like, you know, it doesn't consume my life, but it takes enough of my life. You know, you take social media away, I probably got the free time to do all the things I want to do, but I just want to take it a step farther. I want to get extremely disciplined and just see how far I could take this. How far can I go in 2023? Honestly, I feel like I could do a lot, but I can only go as far as I push myself to be. So I got a couple, you know, I'm fighting the vices, stripping them. Actually, I'm not fighting, I'm stripping. They're gone. You know, I feel like I was moving unconscious a lot of the end of the year there, preparing myself for this, like, so whatever, you know, no social, no outside substances that will dictate my mental, weed, alcohol, you know, these things, pornography gone, masturbation gone, you know, this pursuit of random women gone. It's just distractions that I don't need at this time. You know, I think I'm sharing a little bit too much early, so let me just get into this a little bit. So in order to do this, I have to be radically honest with myself, like, radically, and I have to be able to get to the root core, because I think that's where a lot of people fall short. They want to make these changes and they want a different life, and they're not happy, they're not satisfied. But do you actually break your life down and get honest and find these root issues? You know, like, I think that's fairly rare, especially without a professional. So I guess I'm not a professional in any sense, but I do fancy myself a self-help type of fellow that can help you. You know, so that's why I'm here, just really breaking down myself, dissecting myself, so you can start to make these changes in your own life. Okay, so I feel like I have the ability to float with the best of them. I can float, I can survive, but I cannot thrive. I have not found success in my life. When I'm talking about success, I'm talking financial success. I'm talking, yeah, that's it basically. I don't want the fame. I know typically people with a YouTube channel, they want 7 million views. It's not really what I'm in it for. If I could help 7 people, I would be satisfied with my channel. You know, so it's not the fame. I've looked at it. It's not the fame. It's the finances. I want to feel financially comfortable. I scrap for my life. Especially this year. I scrap for my life just to survive, and I'm tired of doing that. So I'm making these changes to really see the change. You know, I gotta make these small changes in my everyday life to have profound changes in my long-term life. Okay, because I got big dreams. Big dreams call for big. I don't know. I'll have to finish that later. So number 1, dude, my phone, it has got to go. I just find myself distracted. There's an app on your phone. I don't know what it's called, like time or screen time, something like that. You can see how long you've been on your phone for a day, and you can also see how many times you picked it up just to check the notification or clock or whatever, and put it back down. And man, it's disturbing. Every Sunday I'm disturbed. Okay, so this year, for 52 Sundays, I'm not gonna be disturbed, because I'm really putting my phone down. This is the year that I really just walk away from the social. It's so pointless. Facebook, Instagram, you know, dude, so low conscious. So like yeah. Okay, so social media is really my issue. But I also have, you know, some more subtle addictions in terms of my phone. So I have these empty conversations. I pursue women. I'm a man. I like attractive women, right? So sometimes, you know, when I'm bored, lonely, whatever it may be, I just look for these empty conversations. And, you know, I try to get lessons and stuff from every person I come across. But at the same time, people, especially on like Facebook, Messenger, you know, things of this nature, they're not prepared for high conscious conversation that I come with. So a lot of times it's just empty nothingness, and I don't come away with anything. And that really just needs to end, because it's pointless. So I definitely, you know, pointless conversation's gone. The social media, just random scrolling is gone. I am going to continue to post content on Conscious Lamb pages, you know, but I have a different app that I can strictly do that and not even have the opportunity to scroll and look at other content. So I think that's gonna be big, and like I said, I'm not even gonna touch those things until at least April. So definitely gonna free a lot of time up, and I've already seen the change, honestly. I also have a thing for Sports Center. I love me some sports. You know, I'm not gonna eliminate it necessarily, but I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. So yeah, because I mean, I don't think it's totally negative. It takes enough time, but it's not like I spend hours looking at it. So, you know, that's just me being aware of it. I'd also say that I consume a lot of music. I listen to a lot of music, and that's kind of where I get my creative outlet, but also where I can kind of shield from myself, run from myself, and get lost in the music. Big hip hop fan. A lot of my work is inspired by the greats, Kendrick, Nas, Pac. You know, if you go through my titles of my videos, like, you can definitely see a couple videos that were inspired by rappers. But also, you know, Erykah Badu, like Lauryn Hill, these kind of people would just blow my mind. And there was a lot of good music that came out, and there was actually a couple albums that changed my life this year. The big one being Kendrick's Pursuit of the Biggest Stepper, and also Herbert by Ab-Soul. SZA dropped some heat. There's a lot of good albums this year. But that's getting off track. I also want to talk about YouTube. I could get on YouTube, and although I'm not going to remove it, I do fear that could be where I consume and scroll a little bit, because I could sit there, anybody could sit there and listen to YouTube for a day and a half and not even feel guilty, because there's so much there. There's so much to just take in, but there's so much time you're wasting that you're not creating yourself, that you're not organizing yourself, that you're not even looking at yourself. That is unconscious behavior. Okay, so I got to put the phone down. I gotta put the phone down. And another part of the phone is, like, I have this issue with being lonely. Especially when I don't have my children, I am a very lonely person. I just live like kinda like a recluse, something. I don't have a whole lot of friends. I know a lot of people, but the people that I talk to day to day, there's just not a lot of them. You know, so I go through this loneliness, and, you know, like I said earlier, I talk to women, and I also reach out to business like-minded people like myself. So I mean, you know, some of that will continue, but just this loneliness thing, like, and I've dealt with it for way too long. And instead of embracing it, I think I need to, or not, instead of running from it, I think I need to embrace it. I think I need to I need to love myself. It's basically what it is. I really just need to love myself completely, because I'm just running from things. Like, this loneliness leads to empty conversations and pointless trips to the bar or social event, or, you know, low consciousness behavior. Dude, hypocrite. Okay. And another thing that kind of tails in with the phone is, and I've kind of touched on it, I have a lustful nature. I mean, sure, I'm a young 24-year-old man. That's typical in this society, but I'm not trying to be a typical member of society. You know, I want the change. I want the profound life that I strive for, and I cannot do that with this lust addiction. I'm not sure if I can call it an addiction, because it's like, it's phasey. You know, like, I'll go a month and not even think about having sex with a girl or touching myself, or, you know what I'm saying? But then I'll have a month like December. December was very, I didn't have any sexual partners, but I feel like I watched too much porn to just, you know what I'm saying, to just ignore it. I feel like I have to do something about the lust addiction, you know. And another thing is, which I'm not really sure what this is I haven't figured it out yet, but you know, let's say I'm at the barber shop or wherever, and a attractive woman comes in, it changes my whole mental. My whole everything is different. Like, I move different, I talk different, I think different. Like, I think that's a problem. Like, I'm not sure what it is. If you have any suggestions or thoughts, you know, leave them in the comments below. I love the feedback. But I definitely have to do something because it's doing nothing but slowing progress. And, you know, along with the loneliness, the lust and the loneliness, you know, I don't really crave like sex. Like, I don't just want to fuck. I want intimacy. I crave having that person and feeling wanted and feeling like I belong and just embrace, I guess. Somebody that always have my back. I feel like I don't really have that in my life outside of my baby. So I don't know. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. I want companionship. I mean, I do want sex sometimes, but like, I don't know. It's like, I'll talk to a very attractive woman. She could be super attractive, but I like do this judgment thing where I pick these chicks apart and basically I study them and then I run and I don't talk to them anymore. That's got to be some sort of toxic something, because it's just like, first off, it's judgmental, and second off, it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know how else to say it. Can't be fucking doing that shit, man. I kind of talked on the weed and the alcohol. You know, I've smoked for years, like, and I met a new friend this year, and he asked the question, like, when have you been sober in your adult life? You know, you can say your adult life is whenever. I've been smoking since I was like early teens. Like, I never have I been sober in my adult life. So, and the hypocrisy, you know, I put out a video earlier in the year, Lane's last doobie, and I admit that shit. And you know what? A couple weeks later, my brother-in-law, or my ex-brother-in-law, whatever, that's my brother, passed away unexpectedly, 41 years old. Broke my heart. What I pick up? My vice. So I gotta put the vice down, for real this time, regardless, no excuses. Alcohol, I don't really think that's gonna be a problem for me at all. I'm more of a social drinker anyway. On the days coming up to the new year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna drink a little bit and you know, smoke and get it out of my system, whatever. I drank like half a little thing. I bought a bottle of wine and I bought like these little cans, some Trulies or some shit. They were nasty. I drank like half of one. Didn't even touch the wine. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it for the next 4 months. Might give it away or something. But like, I'm more of a social drinker. Don't really crave the alcohol at all. But when I drink, I definitely get down. You know, and I started drinking. I think I was like 15 when I started drinking, and never had an addiction or anything to it. But when I drink, I definitely drink, and there's some toxicity in that as well. And you know, I just think that the weed thing is going to be hard, and at times the social will be hard because of the loneliness. So really, I think my two biggest obstacles of the year is going to be the weed, keeping the weed away, because that's my go-to for anything. Creativity, pain and suffering. I'm excited, let's smoke. I'm sad, let's smoke. I'm doing something, let's smoke, you know. So that's gonna be a hard one. And then the socials, when I'm lonely, so it's gonna be loneliness and weed. Those are my two biggest obstacles that I see right now. And the last one that I really feel I have to address this year is my anger. I talked about it in Lane's melting pot. I have anger spewing out of me at times because it's so pent up. I've talked about it more in that episode that I really can't voice these issues, but it needs addressed. It needs changed. If I want to be the person I really want to be, I can't have this underlying anger, this underlying conflict constantly. Changes how I communicate, changes how I move, changes my energy. And that's something I want to be here now. I want to be present this year, You know, so getting away from the phone and shit, that's definitely gonna help me. But you know, that anger was just there a little bit too much this year, especially later in the year. You know, I took a big ass financial loss in October. You know, talked about it a little bit. That I was seeing red there for a while. Me and my baby mother, we broke up. We went our separate ways. There was a lot of anger. Sometimes there's still some anger with that. And just like anger with my parents, anger with my society, anger with myself, because I believe in accountability. You know, you could point at anybody, but I've been angry at myself. I think that's it. That's why I've been a hypocrite this year. I've been a hypocrite because how unconsciously I've moved, specifically on social media, just looking at nonsense, dumb shit, dirt bikes, just pointless shit. If I can channel all that energy and put it into Conscious Lamb, my life will be profound when I stand right here in 2024 and give y'all a new spiel. Profoundly. But if I continue to move this unconscious way, there's a good chance I'm standing right here pissed off, trying to blame everybody else but myself. That's why I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2022. Yep. So, you guys are hearing me here and now. This is some accountability that you can hold me up to for next year. I don't plan on keeping these walks to life the same way. I'm not going to say I'm going to completely be off social forever. I'll never smoke again. I'll never drink again. I'm not going to say that. But I will say for the next 4 months, I will be clean. I'll be out the way. There's power. There's power in this accountability, strategic plan. You know, it's so much easier to help others. You know, I didn't charge $1 for my services this year in terms of Conscious Lamb, but I helped a lot of people, and it's amazing to me how much easier it is to help others than to, and this is for anybody, to help others than to help yourself, and to really be able to see and look through your self-deception and be honest about yourself. I think that we definitely miss out on that way too often. I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to do here. We got a lot of good content coming this year. I got some things planned. I got some things up my sleeve for sure. So subscribe, check out consciouslam.com for coaching inquiries. What else? I mean, the YouTube and the website, that's really it. You know, I'm going away from the socials is somewhat more, so it'll be a little different, but at the same time, there will be some things there. So sub, like, comment, yell at me, support me, do what you do. But I'd love to hear some feedback. This is it. We out. Biggest Hypocrite of 2022, baby.